Hello, and welcome to my presentation on EdgeKernel. EdgeKernel is a serverless compute platform designed to be used on edge nodes and uses unikernels rather than containers. Why do we need EdgeKernel? There's a growing rise in the number of IoT devices, and these devices are being used more and more frequently. For example, in 2019, there were over 100 million Amazon Alexa devices sold. All of these devices are located at the network's edge, and all of them are continuously generating data. Given this, we need a way to process this data efficiently to allow for improvements in our lives. Cloud services offer an ideal solution. There is a large pool of resources which users can make use of, and serverless computing seems like a good way to process this data, given that users can define very personalized functions and can process the data however they want. However, data transfer speeds are just far too slow. While the current speeds are quick, there will be a definite upper limit, and the sheer volume of data being produced will quickly overload networks and cause a significant bottleneck for any processing. So what if, instead of using cloud data centers, we could use edge nodes instead? These are much closer to the users and where the data is generated. The problem is that edge nodes have a number of constraints which aren't factors or even considered issues for conventional serverless platforms. For example, they face many more threats from attackers because they're on public-facing networks and not protected by a company's firewall. Similarly, the number of resources available from these edge nodes are just not the same as in cloud data centers. They have a less powerful CPU, less memory, a less reliable internet connection. Finally, whilst we could use a container-based system, containers aren't really secure, and given that we're already facing more threats from being on an external network, that's an additional layer of risk. Also, containers rely on an underlying host OS to operate, and that is definitely a security vulnerability because given the Dirty Cow attack was only found in 2017, we can't really factor in the security of operating systems to provide a secure system. So this is where we introduce unikernels. Unikernels are immutable, single-purpose virtual machines. During compile time, they link in the parts of the OS stack that they need to run the application. This results in a highly specialized, tiny virtual machine, and because of this, they are incredibly quick to boot and have a very low memory footprint. This makes them very resource efficient. So EdgeKernel uses unikernels to execute its functions. It does this it's comprised of 5 major components: the message queues, the orchestration engine, the unikernels themselves, and a data store. A bespoke orchestration engine is responsible for connecting the message queues and the unikernels. When a data item is pushed onto the message queues, EdgeKernel responds by executing the relevant unikernel to perform whatever work it needs to do. Unikernels can interact directly with the message queues by pushing data onto them. This allows for the chaining together of functions, like in a conventional serverless platform. Additionally, unikernels can directly interact with the data store to read and store values. The message queue and data store services are both provided by Redis, and this allows for an easy installation and integration with the system. Performance. EdgeKernel is capable of performing incredibly well. It is very lightweight in both CPU and memory overheads. The results from testing show that it only uses around 4% of the CPU and around 17 megabytes of memory at any given moment. It can rapidly respond to triggers and boot unikernels to process data. Results show that a unikernel on EdgeKernel is 3 times faster to boot than a container on Apache OpenWhisk, and that's considering the warm start time of the container. Thank you for watching this presentation. You can find the project on my GitHub, and you can find a technical demonstration regarding how to set up and install EdgeKernel on a Ubuntu machine on YouTube. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.